Reading is from John chapter 1, verses 10 to 18. He was in the world, and although the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who received him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testifies concerning him. He cries out, saying, "This was he of whom I said, 'He who comes after me has surpassed me, because he was before me.' From the fullness of his grace we have all received one blessing after another. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God. God, the one and only, who is at the Father's side, made him known." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a king. And that king ruled over his people wisely and well. He lived in a castle. And although he lived in a castle, he wanted his people to know what he was like. So he thought, how can I do this? He decided to paint them a beautiful picture that would let them know how skilled he was. He decided to give it to them so they would know how generous he was and how much he loved them. He gave them this wonderful picture, which was there for them to look at and to enjoy every day. And the people said, "Wow, our king is amazing. Look at that. He is amazing. Wow." And every time they passed it, they said, "Thank you, king. Wow, that is beautiful. Look how much he loves us to have done something like that for us." You know, over time, they got used to it and it became a bit of a background. And every now and then they would think, "Wow, he is amazing and how much he loves us," and thank him for it. Actually, it became something which they just got used to having around. As they passed it, they might glance at it, they might enjoy it, but they wouldn't think very much about it anymore. So the king decided to write them a letter, and he wrote them lots of letters. And in those letters, he would tell them how much he loved them. He would tell them how he wanted them to live in his kingdom, to live with each other, and to live in a way that meant that the kingdom was looked after and they could have a really, really happy time together. And they loved those letters. But you know, in the end, sometimes they began to forget the ones about how much he loved them and to look instead at the ones about saying how you should live. And people would say, "That's fine. Yes, we need to live like that." And then some people say, well, if you want to actually know the king, you've got to do that and that and that and that and that and that. And they'd take some things that he said in his letters and they'd sort of twist it a bit to make it almost a barrier to getting to know the king and knowing what he was like. And the king thought to himself, how can I get through to my people who I love so much? And then he suddenly thought, aha, I have a son who is just like me, just like me. What if he goes? What if he goes? He can show them what I'm like. They can get to know him and they will understand what I'm like. And so that's what happened. The son went into the kingdom and went around like one of them. He sat down with them. He made friends. He laughed. He told stories. He was tired with them. He woke up with them. He went for long walks with them. He showed them every day how much he loved them. He showed them every day what kind of a creative, amazing, wonderful, fun person he was to be with. And gradually the people got to know that that was what their king was like. That was their king. And that was the most amazing thing they ever learned. Now, do you know what? I think that's a bit what that Bible reading that we've just listened to is saying. It's telling us about a God who loves us so much. He made us. He gave us his creation to live in and to enjoy. But sometimes that creation just became background to people and they forgot about the wonderful God who'd made it and the wonderful God who'd given it to them and how amazing he is and how much he loves us. He wrote us his Bible, which is full of letters from God about how much he loves us, how he wants us to live in this world with other people so that we have the most fun we can. And do you know what? Some people started saying, oh, these letters are all about how you must only live like this or God is going to hate you. Well, no, that's not exactly right. They made it like a big barrier to knowing God, not a way forward to knowing God. And God said, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send my son. He's just like me. And when they see my son, they will know what I am like, really and truly. And so he did. And the Bible reading says, no one's ever seen God, but Jesus, his only son, has come and he's made him known. When we see Jesus, we know what God is like. If you want to know what God is like, look at Jesus. Look at how he spent time with his friends. He loved them. He laughed with them. He told stories. He walked with them for ages. He looked at the wonderful world that God's made. He prayed with them in it. He loved little children. When his disciples said, go away to the children, he said, no, I love them. Bring them here. Don't stop them. The kingdom of heaven belongs to people like this, he said. When people said, oh, that woman, she's done something very, very naughty. You should tell her off. He said, which of you hasn't done anything wrong? They all went away and he spoke to the woman one-to-one and showed her how much he loved them. He loved her. That's the God we have, a God who loves us. Yes, of course, he has ways in which he wants us to live in this world and he tells us that. And he helps us to live like that. If you want to know what God is like, you look at Jesus, pick up a Bible and have a read.
Okay, so we've been hearing about how when you see Jesus, you also see God because they are so similar. That's why God sent Jesus, so that we could look at Jesus and could know what God is like, because Jesus is God and he is absolutely like God. So we're going to play a game, and it's a game called Memory Game. You might have one actually, so this is one which we've got, where you have lots of different cards. And what you'll find is that there'll be pairs of cards in here, which are the same as each other. And you put them down like that. And then you have to try and pick up one and see if you can find one just the same. And if you can, you put them aside and you try again. And the trick is, if you pick up two which aren't the same, you put them back down and then the next person has a go. And they have to try and remember. So they might pick up that and think, oh, I'm sure I saw the other one like that somewhere. Where is it? And you have to try and remember in all of these where it is, because there'll be two exactly the same as each other. So you might not have one. So I thought, let's make one. I'm going to put this one away, which we do already have, and we're going to make one. So what you'll need is a piece of card or paper that you can't see through, because we're going to be drawing pictures on the other side. And I took one about this big. I actually took a red one. And then I cut it into lots of squares, which are here. So I've already done that bit. I've done that bit of cutting. So you need a piece of card and some scissors to do the cutting. And now you just take pairs and on the other side, draw a picture. So I'm going to draw on this particular one. I'm going to draw, why don't I draw a snowman? Bonk, bonk, bonk. You can draw what you want on yours. So they're not identical because it's quite difficult to draw identical snowmen, as it turns out. I'm just discovering. But there we go. I think we would say that if you picked up two like that, it would be the same, more or less. So that's one pair. I'm going to put them down here. And now I don't want you to have to watch me do 24 pictures, in fact 48 pictures of pairs. So I'm going to press Turbo Boost, and if I'm lucky, I might get some helpers in as well. So you can watch how fast we can make 24 different pairs. Okay, right, Turbo Boost. So, there we are, in record speed time, we did 48 cards, 24 pairs that is. And now the thing to do is, you turn them all upside down. Hopefully you did something which you couldn't see from the other side. I might do Turbo Boost for this as well. Then you squiggle them around. There we go. And then you spread them out like that. Okay. There we go. Right. And now if anybody would like to come and play this wonderful game, let's go. Right. So we'll start with the youngest. Yeah, we'll start with the youngest. Haha, a camera. Oh my goodness, I thought I squiggled them around.
Okay.
Ah! No, I did actually squiggle them around. Now it is, Ruby can have another go because she just found one. A house, I think.
You don't have to.
She's looking for a clue. And a Christmas tree. So we need to notice, Christmas tree went down there.
House can go back.
House goes there. Right, Charlie's turn. An apple. See, I've already forgotten where the Christmas tree and the house are. I'm so bad at this game. An apple. I expect you can remember. And a pair of glasses. Okay.
I get another.
No, you don't get another because you didn't.
Ruby got two.
Yeah, because she got one. See? We're just showing you the rules. So if you get one, then you get to have another go. Now it's my turn. A tree. And has to be the same kind of tree. A snowflake. Ah! I am the worst ever at this game. Right, Ruby's turn. Bless you. I didn't see that one. Flower and flower. Oh, now Charlie, where do you think the pear is? Ah! Let's count up. Let's count up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try again. 1, 2. Ah! Sob, sob, sob.
12.
Well done. Well done.
You were now the winner.
Well done. So there we go. As you saw, the winner was me.
No.
No, the winner was this one.
I'm 12.
And we were the brave losers.
You kissed on the camera.
Okay.